All right, we are back. We're still at the Hipstoric Night of the Museum 2, MFA Boston, Stiggity Stackz worldwide.
What's happening? What's happening?
So you've been doing dance sets all night.
Yeah, we've been breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? We didn't come to stand around. We came to do a little something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got the MC vibe too.
Yeah, a little bit. I get it from my big bro, Chad, you know what I'm saying, who's right behind the camera. If you don't know, Chad Shabazz, you know what I'm saying, the one and only. One of Boston's best MCs right there, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
We gotta get put on. We gotta get put on for sure.
Man, that's where it's at right there. Yeah.
That's what's up. So I'm excited for this because we hear about you all the time because A-Ball is on our show.
Tight.
And he's always like, dude, I've been going to these things. Do you guys know Stiggity Stackz? He puts on these groups, we get together, we go over and like, we'll practice and we learn to dance and like, you know, so you are both like an educator, an organizer. Like, can you explain your role in this community here?
So yeah, I have a small business that like I'm able to operate just like quite a few different directions, but mainly like my main focus is creating a platform for urban artists to thrive, like in all aspects. So like I teach a life builders course, that's what I call it, and you know, I pretty much help artists get incorporated on the business side and approach their art, you know, a little bit more professionally. So that's like kind of the main thing. I have a dance studio in East Boston, and I teach a lot of street style dance classes. Like you can find a lot of different dance classes in Boston that are kind of based around performance and choreography, but it's not a lot of classes that focus on like actual street style, like actual hip hop. Yeah. Fundamentals like self-expression. So my whole kind of vibe is like building the self, and that's hence the stacks. You know what I mean? Like kind of like taking these really, really important elements in life, these tools, and just kind of, you know, building yourself up to, you know, be more productive in the society. You know what I mean?
I like that, man.
Yeah.
And that's something everybody could use.
It's an open book, open market. Yeah.
Before we even go further, if people want to connect with you on that, how do they do that?
Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of the social media thing, because, you know, that's the thing these days, you know? So I think Instagram is the most popping right now for a lot of people. So my Instagram is Stiggity Stackz worldwide. And Stackz is spelled with a Z, so it's STIGGITYSTACKZ worldwide. And you can type that in on Facebook as well. That page will pop up. And those are more of the business. If you want to follow my personal page on Instagram, it's on my Stiggity. If you type that in, it'll pop up. And I also have a website, StiggityStacksWorldwide.org. If you want to get in touch with my team, you can email support@StiggityStacksWorldwide.org. And I think that's a good place to start.
That's what's up.
You'll be able to find everything.
Gotta hit that. So, and that's not just dancers, that's anybody who wants to like get in the mix.
Who wants to connect and vibe out,
That's dope. So what like made you go this route?
Well, I mean, I've always, you know, I think that the beauty and kind of our upbringing, as far when I talk about our upbringing, I'm talking about like black people, black culture, is that it's very it's very much about self-expression, about art, about expression. So I've always been around music, I've always been around dance, I've always been around art, I've always been around culture, and that's just the things that I gravitate towards. Parties, people vibing, the whole nine. So like ever since I was young, that's been kind of like my vibe, my atmosphere. So bringing people together was a thing, and then when I got into dance, it just became another outlet to kind of like expand on that, you know. So I started like really diving deep into the krump style. I was one of Boston's first generation krumpers, and you know, we kind of put this scene together that we have out here in Boston as far as the krump thing goes, and then I later on, I linked up with a lot of the elders in the different communities, including my big bro Chad again. It's funny because we kind of chopped it up. One of our first meetings was at an interview. We was doing this interview all the way out in like New Hampshire somewhere. You know? Like, same kind of vibe too. Like, but yeah, linked up with that part of the community, and then we just like once the energy was there, we just started going and like, started traveling. There's a lot of things happening all over the world. So here and there, everywhere.
And then like the giving back, like when did you realize that you had something to teach people and like, you know, that was what you wanted to do?
So I've always been kind of like teaching.
Watch your hair too. I'm gonna get it. They're listening and they're.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. They pick up everything.
Right. So I've always been teaching. So like when I started with my crump, I wasn't living in Boston.
Okay.
I was living outside of Boston, and there was literally, I thought I was on an island. There was literally no crumpers. There was no dancers. None of that stuff. So I had to teach people if I wanted to dance with people.
Oh,
that's how it started. And then so I built a little crump community out there, and like it lasted for a little while, but they weren't really in it like that.
Yeah.
Once I linked up with the people who were already getting stuff started out here, it was like, oh word. They're like, oh, you exist? And I'm like, you exist?
That's
like,
fire.
Yeah, we exist. And I kind of just carried out. You know, I was kind of one of like the early teachers of crump, teaching in different facilities. And I really was just like, as far as like my journey, like I've just been like a really dedicated student. Like I showed up to everything, any possible session, any possible thing that I can learn and get the next tool to develop myself. Like, and I got to meet so many mentors, and those mentors, they're all really successful at what they do. So a lot of these people, they were around for a little bit and then they just like kind of dipped, you know, like with this ways things were happening. So I found myself being kind of like in the middle of like a huge generational gap. So it was like, you know, there wasn't really any educators after a while as far as our area of like street style fundamentals, freestyle dance. So I was like, I just got to buckle down and do it. Same thing with events, you know, organizing events. You know, we have such a sick history across the board with dance, man. Like the dance history, the music, like hip hop in Boston is like literally legendary. So we came from that history, and then there's this gap. You know, we're a very transitional city, a lot of college people. So like it kind of faded over time, you know, and the battles were getting a little stale. So I'm like, all right, so I'm here. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel and teach around different places and get battle experience like all over the world. I might as well take all that information and data back and bring it back to this community here. And I've been blessed to meet so many beautiful people that inspire me all over the world, and I use that as an opportunity to bring them here and break bread with my peoples here. So like, that's kind of what the whole like Stacking Styles vibe is about at the event that you're
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I can't really dance, but maybe that's mental. Maybe I gotta show up and. But
everybody dances, man. Come on.
Well, dude, I play the drums, and they say like the good drummers can't dance. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
This is dancing.
I have rhythm, but I like to make people dance. But so to ask you, so like you've been, as like a lot of people out here, even though there's a rich history, there's also not a lot of avenues, so there's a lot of like breaking your own ground. I was just wondering, like on your journey, whether now or in the past or whatever, like what type of like oppositions you've faced or things like that, and how you've gone about, you know, getting through those. I'm sure there's a few.
Yo, too many, man. So many. It's like Boston is a beautiful city, but it's a little outdated.
Yeah.
You know, on it's a lot of angles, the legal side of things. Yeah, like, so developing in Boston means that like we have to try to navigate spaces where people are still kind of like in the, like they don't really know or understand what we do.
Yeah.
So they're like, what is this thing? It's like, well, it's 2019, like we should be up to date on all this stuff that's going on, like all this art, all this culture. So there's very limited venues, there's very limited space. Like we're going through a very tough time with spacing now, and you know, in all these different cities as a whole. Studios are shutting down. My own studio, I'm even going through some turmoil with them, and they like, you know, they're kind of giving me pushback.
Really?
You know, yeah. So like, I think to keep it 100%, the first kind of wall that we hit, as far as like pushing as an artist, as a young like black artist, is like the wall of like racism and white supremacy. Like that system is like, you know, there's a lot of opportunity. We look at the stats all the time. There's so much money pouring into dance, but that money is not making its way over here.
Someone else is teaching the hip hop class.
Yo, man, like let me get started on that. You know what I mean? There's so many like hip hop classes out there that.
Shout out to Hipstory, black-owned business in the MFA right now.
Black-owned business, man, in the MFA doing it. That's why I got mad respect. I had to come through and show Tim and Cliff Notes and the rest of the team some love, because you know I'm a black business myself, and like when I see people moving, like it makes me excited. I'm like, I want to be a part. I want to help. I want to bring energy to that vibe, because we need each other more than we need to, you know, more than we should ever think about competing against each other. You know what I mean? Like it's just not even a wave anymore. So like, so that's the first like wall of opposition. And the second is that our elders are not really as present as they could be. So there's this thing that happens in the community. You know, I've experienced it with my family firsthand. My great grandmother was 101 before she passed away last year. And
my condolences.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And she was able to give me a lot of history that I needed to like look at things from a clear view and not be jaded by like all the false history, all the. So she gave me her experience. And in a sense, that's like kind of like passing the baton. Like now you have my knowledge, now you have what I know, you can take it further. That's something that's really important, and a lot of our elders were young in this hip hop culture. Like hip hop is still young in the grand scheme of things. So they made a lot of mistakes, and they learned from those mistakes, but that generational gap kind of like creates a environment where they're not really like teaching that or like giving those tools like this. Here's how we messed up, here's how we got to move forward. You know, there's a lot of trauma, you know, still around, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's kind of rough situation that we all have to navigate. So that's another wall, is that, you know, even though like I'm kind of like following the footsteps, I'm kind of trailblazing, because they're not there like being like, yeah, here's how you do it.
Yeah, you're still.
You know, so you're still kind of recreating the wheel, because there's nobody there to really say like, this is how you do it.
You're like looking for clues on the path.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I think there's a hold over there. That's where I might,
Oh yeah, man, and people, we're still learning as human beings overall how to connect, how to converse, and how to be a community. It takes a lot of conversation. Like what I deal with on the regular now is people in the professional world not really ready to sit down and have a conversation and build as a community, and have those awkward, have those intense, have those emotional conversations. A lot of like professional kind of just like the environment is all about like, you know, sending an email and staying as distant as possible. Just cover yourself, and then like we'll be good. Like as long as you cover your own self, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, nah, we have to like be vulnerable. Like we have to be, we have to have accountability. So even navigating that, like I'm a dad as well. I feel like I have to like sometimes father people. Like I'm like, man, like let's dial this back. Let's have a conversation. You know what I mean?
And it's okay, you can have that conversation. It doesn't have to.
So those are some of the things that, you know, I've struggled with. And then on top of that, there's like just like the belief systems that were present, that are still present in our community. It's like the whole starving artist, the whole, you know, when you start really creating and busting moves in Boston, everybody's like, you know, crab in a barrel. They always talk about like this thing that's happening, this cycle, and they don't realize that like as we keep speaking about it, we're just perpetuating it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, because you don't see that nearly as much, but then, yeah, if you feed, you can give a lot of power to it.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna say, oh, like if you are on that edge of, well, it's only a matter of time, or this will start, and if you're looking for that, you're gonna see that. But, you know.
So it's a struggle. Even for myself, sometimes I'd be sick of.
It's hard. It's easy to. It's a small pond. It's a very small pond, and
I'm like, man, I'm sick of this plate.
Yeah.
But shout out to the city.
Usually the people you're trying to pull down too are like not really making moves the way you think you are either. Like it's not. It's getting better, but it's not like people are, you know, making major moves.
Yeah, man. So it's a lot, but like I think that, you know, having the energy of perseverance, and just knowing that, man, it has to get done. Like at this point in my career and in my life, I've been through so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even when I put all my energy towards positivity, like I've received so much on my plate that it's like, I feel like this is gonna be the energy even if I don't do it. So
yeah, you might as well
just get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like you might as well just put yourself forward, and you can't really be hesitant or scared because like it's us. Like we build this thing, we keep this thing going. Everybody is, whether we want to admit it or not, everybody's an important factor to this big picture. You know what I mean? So, you know, I kind of just like own that. Yeah. And I'm just like, I just gotta do it, no matter what, what the kickback. I just gotta, you know, just gotta keep going. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate it, man. Absolutely. And even though we didn't cross till now, like the work you're doing and the things you're doing have been reverberating. And I think
respect, bro.
It would be dope to figure out a way to, you know, blend the worlds a little bit.
Bring it together all day. That's what I'm looking for.
I've been going to a lot of these shows. I don't see a lot of dancers at a lot of them anymore.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to link that up.
That's been one of the biggest goals because, you know, I look at some of the relationships that my elders from all over the world have. Like in that first generation, hip hop was really one thing. Yeah. Now there's kind of a hierarchy that, you know, music is like at the top and like not many people recognize dance and know how to appreciate it. Right. But back in that time period, like all the dancers and the artists like are like they vibe together, they rock together, they came up together. So like I did a video with an elder from the Bay Area. Okay. And that's where Farside is from. You know what I'm saying? He sent me the screenshot. Farside's like, yo, this video's tight, yo. Like, I'm like, oh, Farside, one of my favorite. Like, but they're just close like that. You know what I mean? And now I want to bring that energy back. You know, and that's why I'm excited that like Rilla Force is here. That's my G, and a lot of people don't know this, and he gonna probably, I don't know if he gonna be mad at me. No, like, let's hear it. Dog, Rilla Force, dog, my G Joshua was a krumper. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other artists that are making noise in Boston. I'm planning on doing this little like kind of like spotlight on that, all the krumpers who are turning up and making noise in Boston in the music scene. Politically, the whole not like the krumpers are out here. Krumpers are out here, dog, and you'll be surprised. I won't leak all of them. Okay, but they're here. When you see when I do this thing, you're gonna be like, wow, this person. Oh man, no, they out here, yo. I like this. We all came up. We were all young. We were all teenagers doing this krump thing. He must have been a force out there. Oh, like, yo, no pun intended at all. Yo, big body, man. He was stomped and the whole room was shaking. He's a big guy. That's why, like, when he was making krump beats back in the day, and like I was always a fan, man. Like he always sent me his music, like even from like long ago, and I would be like, yo, this track is like the dude was saying earlier, very detailed. Like you actually got skills. So I've always been a fan. If you look at my YouTube channel, which is Ashton Light, my real name, Ashton Lights, Lites. All of my intros outros, it's all Real Force
Yo,
music.
that's fire. I love
you know
that,
what I'm
dude.
saying?
I love that you
some
love
of
that,
all
dude.
the content, like I always try to use Boston artists, especially the bro. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, the whole nine.
Yep.
Is all the people that I kind of like came up with. Yeah, like, and they all like busting moves, yo, in this industry. You know what I'm saying? My brother also
Let me find
produces.
out this is a crumper.
I was trying not to leak it.
Oh, man.
I was trying not to leak it.
It's out
Come
now.
on, man. Yo.
You could have played it cool. You.
I was trying not to, yo.
You want me to cut
it's
this?
It's coming soon. Cut it.
Put a big beat.
Cut it until it comes out.
Okay.
Because we're going to do a whole special.
Let me know. Yo, thank you, dude. Thank you. We'll drop the extended cut of the interview.
Yeah.
Yo, too much. I'm going to put some ill beeps on it.
Yo, put a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. People can't know. People can't know.
We'll blur your mouth so they can't. Lip readers aren't in the comments. Yo, he said.
He said who?
Yo.
He probably mad. He'll be mad, but we gonna do it. We gonna
Let
do it
him
together.
know. Hey, man, it's truth. You gotta speak it. So
yeah, man. These
can't
are
get
all
mad
the
at that.
peoples, man. And we all know. We get down every time we see each other anywhere out in the world. It's all love. Yo.
That's what's up.
It's crazy.
Yo, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
this was
no
dope.
problem. Thank you.
It was good, man.
Appreciate
It was
you,
good,
yo.
man. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
We're gonna do Loman next. He's eating. I've watched him eat 15, maybe 20 cookies.
Yo,
getting ready for
it's that time of the season, yo.
Yo, let me turn this off. Thank you.
Word.